Hello, 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 hello. I'm Lynn Browder, and I have a son, Owen, who is 13 and has autism. We paint together, working on his fine motor skills. He helps me paint the backgrounds of our paintings with a hand-over-hand method, and then I paint the rest. So I painted some tulips years ago. I think it's years ago. All the days seem to be blending together. And I thought I would paint something similar again. It's been quite some time since I've painted anything like this, so we'll see what happens here. I'm just kind of getting some of the base down, and then we'll go from there. Oh, I got a sneeze all of a sudden coming. So, it was a wild day. Excuse me. And then a cough. We meaning one of us, woke up very, very early. Me. And I had fallen back asleep, and then woke up again, and for once, well, not for once, I've been waking up numerous times over the last couple weeks, but and then around 4 something, Owen woke up. But I used the word excitement loosely because there was nothing really exciting about it. Sirens went off sometime before 6. I was close to that. The tornado sirens we have here, and we have a basement, and so Owen and I went down to the basement, and it was quite some time, not quite an hour, till like the coast was clear. We were in and out of the basement multiple times over the next, like, I started to come up once because it had been a few minutes since they had turned the sirens off, and then we went back down again. And so it was, like I said, quite the adventure. Quite the adventure. And not one that I'd like to repeat again. I mean, it's happened numerous times since I've lived here, and it happened almost like close to this date last year. There were some tornadoes that had, as far as I know, I haven't looked at the news a lot today, but as far as I know, in my immediate area, or as kind of close to me, I don't think we got any tornadoes that struck here, but I know there were tons around the country that truly were devastating. So I'm just praying everyone's okay, and it's been so hard lately with the tornadoes and hurricanes and just extreme fires and weather and everything. So Um, Owen, he did amazing. He went down to the basement with me, and I can't even remember if I said everything. I I've been so sleepy lately. I fell asleep. Uh, I was just gonna sit down for a few minutes, and I'm in treatments for breast cancer. I'm in the infusion status right now, um, and so Owen helps me paint the backgrounds of these paintings and everything with because he has autism and we're working on his fine motor skills. So he treated this morning like a fire drill, and he's getting better at the noises. The when the sirens used to go off, he would cry, and attempting to get him to the basement was just like it was beyond a struggle. That was more than he could handle. Um, so he's truly come a long way. But it's still, like I said, it still can be very difficult for him and emotional to even get into the basement. But he did great this morning. So um, that in itself is sometimes part of our moments to just get to the safe part. But they practice fire drills and safety drills all the time at his school, and they've done that for years. And so he's starting to understand more about fire alarms and just it all. And that definitely helped us this morning. But thankfully, here it wasn't too bad. And I think in, again, my area, they canceled the flood warning. So I hope that is correct. Unless something has changed. I looked earlier. I had a message that came in. I think it said something like it doesn't pose another threat or something. So I'm hoping that's more correct. But anyways, Owen, I picked him up from school to go to therapy, and he was happy that he was able to go. And when the sirens were going off and everything this morning, that was his big concern. Was he wanted to make sure that his people were okay. He gets very anxious about everybody and wanting to know that they are okay. And somehow, at some point, and now it's all blending together. I feel like it was like a year or so ago when he started talking about the leprechauns. He had gotten it in his head that his school was being fixed by the leprechauns. And now anytime there's any snow or anything that needs to be done, if anyone's not feeling well for whatever reason, he sends out the leprechauns. He thinks that the leprechauns are fixing everything. So more power to the leprechauns. And I'm very thankful for the leprechauns. I'm thankful for all the things that he thinks they do. And, it's just a glorious thing. So as this dries, I'll go back and kind of recolor a little bit in some of this, and we'll see how it turns out. But it's always interesting to me how colors come together. Put one down here. So he had a good day dealing with all of that, but all of his therapist and everybody kind of said that he has days where he doesn't forget things, but he feels like he's to use the word disinterested is not correct, but he just disassociates with stuff, and I feel like we all kind of do that in some ways, where we're just done with the day, or we want to have our own fun, or he doesn't necessarily take something serious when he should be taking something serious, if that makes any sense at all. And his therapist, because I'd picked him up after school, well, not after school, but after noon for oh, I knew it was coming, therapy. And so his therapist had said he did all right, but he had just not necessarily done everything that he could have, would have, should have. But in that same breath, he did pretty good, you know. This weather has definitely got me all... It's funny because Owen got more of the sinusy stuff when everything was first blooming, and now that everything's almost done blooming, I'm really starting to get the stuff. So we'll see how that turns out for all of us. But Owen is excited to go back to school tomorrow. He is ready. As soon as we got home, he started in on when he was going to school tomorrow. And it always makes me feel good that he loves school so much that he wants to constantly be there. So he is definitely ready. Definitely ready for what that holds. Mm-hmm. So a lot of the times I'll say that I'm not necessarily going to change my brush, or I was looking at this, and the circles almost feel like trapped to me or something. I don't know. So we'll see what happens as I go along here. But I'm gonna put some white on some of the background things. Then I may do a few more little tulips. We'll see. Then I'll come back and do some lines on here. But This one almost feels the most realistic, that I'm right here where the dark is on that side, and I'm trying to show a little more patience when I'm painting, and do more detail and things like that. But it just depends on my. Ooh, we got. There we go. Something had fallen. So, what I was starting to say when I keep getting distracted is I don't often change my paintbrush, but sometimes, like, the blue is the blue, and I don't want to. I'm gonna do these white and cream things, and I don't really want to have the blue on those. So I want to make sure that, like, I'm doing kind of the separate thing there. Now, let's see if I can do this. Sometimes I get myself all too much into the detail or too thick into the detail, and I don't do just little thin lines, and the whimsy is not there. And so I'm trying to kind of create a little more of the whimsy with what I'm doing here. And I just want a distraction of the blue from this. The humidity and the rain and everything from winter to summer, the paints act so differently, and so it's interesting to me how quickly they can become like so dried out. But you know how that goes. So I'll just put a few more of these little moments. I should have left my white until I was ready to paint it, because it is so thick. And I've talked about this before. I should put water on my table, but I don't think about it because I don't use it a lot, very rarely. But I should start putting more water on my table so that I have it for moments like this where my paint is way too thick to really spread. And then I technically should just stop and go get some, but that would require me to get up and reset and everything. So it's just paint. We can always paint another one. I think these are a little thicker than I really want to deal do them, but I'm putting too much of the white. I'm taking away from the blue. But oh, I almost threw that down. I didn't mean to. But it'll be okay. It'll all work out. It'll all work out. We just have to. I need to put some more of the darker blue. So now I'm gonna go back in and do some more of the colors. And get the right edge going there. I think I'm gonna do another one. So hopefully tomorrow we do not have more of this uninvited excitement. I know it's caused so much devastation for so many with all these weather phenomenons. I don't know if that's the right even explanation, but I'm ready for that to move on. Not that I have to have 12, but I have 11, so I might as well put one more out here. So it's hard to have all of this weather stuff, you know. Not the fun that we want for spring. I almost feel like I said I had too many white things, but it feels like I need, oh, that was way more thick than I wanted. I probably should have changed this brush instead of having this one, but oh well. Oh well. Oh well. So I'm just, that one, I always pick a favorite flower when I'm making these, like when I'm going through stuff. And that one's probably my favorite of them. So, so now I'm gonna, that sneeze got me going. Now my green's pretty dry, but I'm gonna go in and just kind of try to add a few little things with the green to get these a little straighter. and we will be done. Do-do-do. Owen asked me if he was going in the basement again tomorrow, and I said, I sure hope not. And I hope no one else has to either. And it's not something that he will quickly forget. Like, he'll ask me for days upon days if that's something that we have to do again. And he won't forget it either because he remembers from before and everything. So, oh, excuse me. Okay. Just gonna kind of go through. Hopefully get a little more solid detail there. Kind of trying to connect some of these